The case didn't begin with a missing person. It began with a hunter who got lost. Just before dusk, he wandered off a marked trail while tracking a deer through Briar Creek State Forest. As he searched for his way back, he noticed dozens of black vultures circling above a steep hillside. He assumed an animal had died. Instead, he found a shallow grave. Police sealed off nearly 2 square miles of forest. The victim was identified as a 31-year-old woman who had disappeared 14 months earlier after leaving her job at a casino. She had been the subject of one of the state's largest missing person searches. No trace of her had ever been found. Until now, as investigators searched the surrounding woods, cadaver dogs began alerting again. And again. By the end of the first week, they had uncovered 6 graves. The victims had disappeared over a period of nearly 7 years. A firefighter, a college student, a truck driver, a waitress, a real estate agent, a father of 2. They had never met, lived in different counties, worked different jobs. There was no obvious connection. The medical examiner's report horrified even veteran detectives. Every victim had suffered multiple sharp force injuries before death. Several had attempted to defend themselves, their forearms bearing deep wounds where they had instinctively tried to shield their faces. Yet none of the victims had been killed in the forest. The amount of blood found at the graves was far too small. Someone had murdered them somewhere else, then transported every body to Briar Creek. Detectives built enormous maps covering entire conference room walls. Colored pins marked where each victim had last been seen. At first, the locations seemed random, until an analyst drew a single line through them. Every victim had disappeared within a mile of Highway 22. The highway stretched more than 80 miles across the state. Hundreds of thousands of vehicles traveled it every week. It wasn't much, but it was the first real pattern investigators had. State police spent months reviewing surveillance footage from gas stations, toll booths, and convenience stores along Highway 22. Thousands of hours of video, thousands of vehicles. Then one image caught a detective's attention. A dark blue SUV. It appeared in footage from 2 separate disappearances, 4 years apart. The license plate couldn't be read, but one detail stood out. The rear bumper had a large scrape across the driver's side. Police released the image. More than 800 tips poured in. Every blue SUV with similar damage was investigated. None belonged to the killer. Then another discovery changed everything. A survey crew working several hundred yards from the original graves uncovered human bones while digging drainage trenches. Search teams returned. 3 more victims were recovered. 9 murders, 9 families, 1 burial ground. The governor announced the formation of a special task force. The investigation stretched across 3 states. Forensic experts recovered partial shoe impressions from 1 grave. The tread matched a boot sold by several outdoor retailers. More than 40,000 pairs had been purchased during the years the murders occurred. The clue led nowhere. A partial DNA profile was recovered from beneath one victim's fingernails. The sample belonged to an unknown male. No match existed in any criminal database. The years passed. Technology improved. Evidence was tested again. Still nothing. Today, Briar Creek State Forest is open to hikers once more. Most visitors never realize they're walking within sight of one of the largest serial murder scenes in state history. Near the trailhead stands a stone memorial engraved with the names of the 9 known victims. Notice the word known, because investigators have never been convinced there were only 9. The graves were spaced with unsettling precision. Equal distances, straight rows, as though someone had planned for more. Every spring, heavy rains erode another layer of the hillside. Every spring, detectives quietly return. Not because they expect to find the killer, but because they're afraid the forest isn't finished giving back its dead.